Hey guys, my name is Caitlin from Nourish by Caitlin, and I am also the founder of Fix Your Fertility, which is my new beta program that just came out. But I'm really excited today because we are going to be having a guest on. Her name is Emily Chambers, and she is a certified health coach, herbalist, and certified in everyday Chinese medicine. And after 13 years of hormone and acne struggles, Emily became focused on helping women restore hormone balance for a symptom free life. So let's see if we can get her on. Let's see. Oh, so she should be popping on in a minute. Hello.
So
How are you?
good. I'm gonna try to adjust my lighting.
Yeah. Did you guys get any snow?
Good.
You
Yeah,
did.
a lot. Just a little bit, which I'm a little sad because I love snow, but we got a little bit, and it's been below freezing all day, so it's been really cold.
Oh, I know. We got a little snow. I'm in Virginia, and I know that you're in North Carolina, so it's a little exciting to see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Emily, so I just read your bio to everybody, but if you could tell us a little bit about how you got into, Chinese medicine and tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so really the whole health journey started when I was 8 and I was experiencing acne, and it just continued throughout my entire life. I mean, I still deal with it to this day. And I was on and off antibiotics for about 7 years, and then I was on birth control for about 4 years. And I started when I was like 13 or 14. And I knew intuitively that I couldn't be on this medication forever. I always would think, like, okay, when I get pregnant or when I want to get pregnant, is my acne going to come back when I stop taking birth control? Like, what's going to happen? And I knew intuitively that this wasn't fixing me. And so eventually I decided to get off my antibiotics and my birth control on my own. I didn't talk to my doctors. And a few months after that, probably about 3 or 4 months, I experienced post birth control syndrome, which is, when your symptoms come back even worse. And I had horrific acne, the worst I've ever had. I mean, you can see there's pictures on my Instagram of what my skin looked like. It was really bad, and my whole face would hurt, and it was completely red. The only place you could see my skin was my forehead, and it was really, really bad. And from there, I felt lost and confused, and I didn't know what to do. And I was researching hormones, and I was taking probiotics and milk thistle, and I didn't really know what to do. And eventually, and then I went back on birth control and experienced horrible migraines. And they're like, you can't take this, you need to get off of it. And then I went on spirolectin, and that kind of helped, but again, not really. And I got off that. And then eventually I was just able to heal it myself. And I started taking maca and really learning about my hormones. And it was quite a journey my whole life. I mean, I'm still dealing with it. I'm still always healing and always nourishing my body. And that's when I started getting into health coaching, and I did my certification course. And then I started getting into herbalism because just plants are so powerful. And I was seeing such a huge benefit when I was taking things like milk thistle, not even realizing that I was participating in herbalism. And then I stumbled across Chinese medicine, and I was first introduced to it with the face mapping for acne. And then I kind of forgot about it. And then it's come back into my life recently and a few months ago. And it is so healing, and it's whole body healing. Every symptom is connected, and every organ is connected. And it's really just opened my eyes to so much more that you can do with your body, and so many more ways you can heal. And yeah, that's kind of my little journey there.
Oh, I love it. And I really love how you just listened to your intuition, and you really followed that. And, you just thought that it was the right time to get off the medicine and to delve a little bit deeper into what was going on. And it brought you to so many different forms, the herbalism and the Chinese medicine. I just think that that is so wonderful. Really, really cool. So, tell me a little bit more because I know that you have studied Chinese medicine. Tell me a little bit more about how Chinese medicine relates to fertility.
Yeah, so Chinese medicine is really great for female issues, especially infertility and ovarian issues. So, with Chinese medicine, of course, fertility is a really vast issue. You know, it can have a lot of correspondences to different organs, the same way that any disease can have in Chinese medicine, but it really focuses on the kidney health. So, in Chinese medicine, the kidneys hold your essence, your life essence, and they're also responsible for the growth and the health of your reproductive system. So, throughout your whole life. So, as a child, kidneys are responsible for your reproductive system to grow and develop. And it's the same throughout your whole life. So the kidneys are really nourishing your uterus and your reproductive system. So usually when dealing with infertility and fertility issues, Chinese medicine focuses on helping the kidney and nourishing the kidney. Of course, there are other things to look at like the liver and the spleen, but the kidney is really important when it comes to reproductive issues. And it is very important to nourish it. And the big thing that Chinese medicine looks at when we're dealing with infertility issues.
I love that. And I think that's so beautiful that the kidney, you said, holds the essence of our life. That's really beautiful. And who were like, everybody you just don't talk about the kidneys that often. It's all about like we need to detox our liver, which obviously in Chinese medicine everything is all tied together, which I also love. I think is so beautiful. We just look at one thing, but I love that it really focuses on the kidney and kidney health and how it's tied into everything else. That's really beautiful. That's so.
Yeah.
Now, is there any types of foods in Chinese medicine that deals with kidney health?
Yeah. So dates are really good for kidney health. Um,
Ooh.
cucumbers are really good a lot of times for fertility clients, Chinese practitioners, or acupuncturists will recommend eating cucumbers every day. Um,
Oh.
yeah. I spoke about on my Instagram page about cucumber water and kidney health because it helps to flush out bacteria and any viruses or anything going on, any stones, or it lowers uric acid in the kidneys and really helps replenish it. So, in Chinese medicine, a few symptoms of kidney health would be like you wake up in the morning and you're really groggy, and your eyes, you have bags under your eyes, dark circles, your eyes feel puffy and swollen. And of course, you're urinating a lot, but it's clear. And those are a few symptoms of kidney issues. In Chinese medicine, of course, there are a lot more and a lot more to connect with it. But cucumber water is really great. Dates are good. Pomegranates are really good for infertility. But a big thing with Chinese medicine is the herbal aspect of it. Um, when it comes to food, eating all of your flavors is really important. They emphasize on eating the flavors and, of course, looking at the energetics of your body. If you have a lot of heat or a lot of coldness, which is often an infertility issue, is a lot of coldness, you're going to want to include more foods that are warming to your body, and same with the herbs.
I love that. I love that. So, would you say like ginger is a warming herb? And I'm a huge cook as well, so I love to put in like all kinds of good spices, just to warm things up, especially in the winter. It's so chilly here and everything. So I always find that that's so nice. What else can you tell us?
Yeah, so a few herbs for infertility that I really love. The first one being red raspberry leaf. I feel like most people, if you're into herbs, have probably heard about red raspberry leaf. It's really tonifying on the uterus and it provides a lot of essential vitamins and minerals. It also is very good for the kidney and liver health. So it'll help nourish those organs, which we know is very important for hormones and infertility.
Now, do you recommend, sorry to interrupt, but do you recommend doing red raspberry all throughout your cycle or just through a part of your cycle, or does it depend on the person?
So with red raspberry leaf, I think it is fine, and I recommend taking it throughout your entire cycle. Now, a few other herbs that I will talk about are going to be good to just take while you're not menstruating. So when you start your period, to just stop taking it, because it can make your flow heavier or just cause, cramps or issues like that. It's also take a break when you're using herbs. You don't want to take them every single day. So, taking red raspberry leaf is fine throughout your whole cycle, but taking maybe a few days off would be good.
Love it. Perfect. So what else? What other herbs?
So tribulus is a really good one, and this one's really good for men and women, and both of them can take it. Of course, we know infertility and just your fertility health is really important for both men and women, and this one is really good to take. So it'll help tonify the kidneys and the reproductive system, and it also will help to regulate your ovulation, which of course is vital for fertility and just menstrual health in general. And it's also very warming. It's a good warming herb. So, like I mentioned, in infertility in Chinese medicine, coldness is often an issue. So, we have this invasion of coldness in the uterus. So Chinese medicine, lower half of your body holds warmth. And a lot of times we'll have this invasion, whether it's from the outside, like in the wintertime, or it's just an internal issue. We'll have an invasion of cold. I think I hopped off there for a second.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
So, yeah, there'll be an invasion of coldness in the uterus, which will stunt blood flow, and we'll see issues that come up with like amenorrhea or very regular periods or scanty periods. So issues like that. Um, but tribulus is really great for that. It's a very warming herb, so it'll help to warm the uterus. And it's also very drying. So if you have any gut issues, dampness, or excess phlegm, it'll help to dry those issues up.
Love it. And so you probably wouldn't recommend that though if the person already is super hot natured and dry in general. Like I'm thinking of my husband. He's always hot and yeah, I would say he's much more hot natured and I'm always cold.
Yeah, so that would not be recommended for people that are hot. Um, of course, there is always a balance, so you can still take it, but just be aware um, that if you start to see excess symptoms of heat, then to just maybe, cut it back or just not take it. Um, but yeah, not really recommended for people who have heat issues.
So just another tool to let us know to really tune into our body and, pay attention to what we're feeling and what's going on. I love that.
Another really great one is Dong Quai. This is a traditional Chinese medicine herb. Um, I it's becoming more popular in Western herbalism, but this one's really great for improving blood flow. So in Chinese medicine, infertility and just your menstrual cycle in general, blood flow is really important. And also making sure your blood is properly nourished and that your qi is flowing throughout your body. And so what Dong Quai will do is make sure that that blood is flowing and it'll help to nourish it. So we're going to have more regular periods and if you're dealing with amenorrhea, this is really great. Or if you have missed ovulations or irregular ovulations, this one's really good for helping to regulate that. This one's also a warming herb and it's also moistening. So if you have any dryness, this one's really great for that.
I love it. That sounds so nice. And I feel like there is so much stagnation and even more stagnation now with the pandemic. I feel like everybody is just sitting so much and we're not getting as much movement, and so our bowel movements are slower, our digestive tract is slower, and obviously it makes sense, that we would have stagnation with our flow and our periods and everything like that too.
Yeah, in Chinese medicine, stagnation and dampness are a huge issue in the new modern world because we're not moving, because we're stressed and have anxiety issues, and all of this will stagnate qi flowing in the body and it'll affect different organs. So, yeah, stagnation is a really big one. This comes up with like blood stasis issues and blood deficiency issues. Um, which all affect the menstrual cycle, of course, because it is blood. So, yeah, stagnation is a big issue. And that's where movement comes in. So, exercising is really important. Of course, in Chinese medicine, you shouldn't over exercise. And I recommend not exercising more than like 30 minutes because you'll spike your cortisol levels after that. But also just moving throughout the day, not just having a set exercise, but getting up and moving every 30 minutes or an hour and walking around to break up any stagnation you have in the body, get the blood flowing. It's really important.
Perfect. Yeah, I love it. That's wonderful.
Another really great herb is Astragalus. This one is also a classic Chinese medicine herb, and it's becoming more popular in Western medicine, but it's a great adaptogen. That's why it's becoming really popular. Western medicine and herbalism loves adaptogens, and this one's a really good one. So it'll help you adapt to stress, and it also helps the body adapt to environmental toxins, which we know is unavoidable these days. So this one's a really great one. It's also a warming herb. So what you see with a lot of these fertility herbs is that they are warming because most often we're having a coldness issue in the uterus. So most of these herbs will have a warming effect on the body. Um, this one's also really good for nourishing the kidneys, as we mentioned, is really important, and also improving the immune system.
Perfect. I'll use astragalus, and astragalus is sweet, isn't it? It has like a sweeter taste. Yeah. So I'll throw like a couple of, they're kind of like sticks, and I'll throw a few sticks in my, broth when I'm my chicken broth and just let it, go. And it's not gonna, ruin the taste or change the taste or anything like that. But you're getting in some of that nourishment and goodness into your soup pretty much.
That's so great. Yes. Another really good one is white peony root. Um,
Oh.
This one is mainly used for issues like PCOS, endometriosis, if you have higher androgen levels, or even ovarian failure. White peony root is often used, usually in conjunction with licorice root. I often don't use licorice root because it has high potassium levels, so it can affect people that have blood pressure issues and heart issues. So, something to be aware of. And it's not licorice root is not for long-term use. It's for short, maybe like a month or two long, and not overdo it. So it's really important to have a herbalist help guide you when you're using licorice root. But
I think
white,
Yeah, I think that's such a good point that you point out is that, even though these are natural and these are herbs, they come from the earth, you still have to maybe have somebody help you out with this or, work with an herbalist or work with a practitioner who knows these. Just don't go out and buy all of them because it might not be right for you. And it could actually be causing more damage than, anything beneficial, right?
exactly. I have had many people come to me and they have, lists long of all the herbs they're taking. And, of course, like we all have done in our lives, is gone on Google and looked at for these herbs. But it's really important to know the energetics of the herbs and the energetics of your body, but also know, any sort of issues that they can cause. Generally, herbs are safe, especially like red raspberry leaf is very safe, but things like licorice has been thoroughly researched, and there's a lot of instances of people overdosing on it and having issues with it. So just being aware of that and working with the right herbalist is really important if you want a formula that's really tailored to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Perfect.
Um, It's actually been shown to take excess testosterone and transform it into estrogen. And that's why it's really good for PCOS issues. And it also helps to normalize progesterone levels. So it'll help to regulate your ovulation. And white peony is so great. She's a really supportive root. I use her throughout my cycle. She's really, really great. And she's also cooling. So this is one of the herbs that is cooling. So if you have a lot of heat in your body, um, really great. And I have a lot of heat in my body. So that's why I use her, because she's so cooling. So this would be a good one if you say you wanted to take tribulus, but you have a lot of heat. Pairing it with something like white peony that's more cooling will help to balance out those levels so you're not seeing any adverse effects. So yeah, white peony root's really great. She also helps to support the liver, so she's a really good herb. Not often used in Western medicine, but she is really great.
Wonderful. That is so cool. And would you take that as a tea or as a tincture, or it just depends on what you need?
Yeah, it depends on you. I prefer tinctures just because they're very potent. But of course, if you're a tea drinker, then you could do that. She's often mixed with a few other herbs, but they're a little bit harder to come by in the States and a little bit more expensive. But you can get her on like Mountain Rose Herbs.
Oh, great company. Yeah, that's such a good company. Oh. Well, let's see. Do you have anything else that you want to add? Or if there's any questions from anybody, that is listening on, feel free to just, let us know your questions and hopefully Emily can answer them for you.
One thing I do want to mention is when we're talking about like the uterus being cold and being an invasion of coldness, keeping your abdomen and your uterus warm is really important. Even in the summertime, it's really important. Like people are wearing like crop tops all the time and things like that, and you're exposing your cold sensitive organs to the outside temperature. So in Chinese medicine, it's really important to keep your abdomen protected and wrapped. Something I recommend for people who have infertility issues or just excess coldness or amenorrhea, um, to use a heating pad for like 20 minutes at night on your abdomen helps the blood flow, helps to combat that coldness in the body. And that's just like a simple thing you can do and add to your routine at night. It's also really nice in the wintertime when you're really
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have these rice bags, and it's like the only thing I use the microwave for, and I'll throw it out, tell my husband to heat it up, and you can just put it in the bed, and it's so nice and warm. And if you have anything like period cramps or or backache or feet, it's nice to use.
Yeah. Another thing that can be a little bit upsetting for some people that really like salads and smoothies is I don't recommend cold and raw foods for anyone who's dealing with hormone issues, just because it's very taxing on the digestive system to process that. And also, again, we have that coldness will start to invade our organs and our uterus. So I really don't like cold raw veggies. I always recommend cooking your veggies a little bit, lightly cooked, never overcooked. And also not drinking cold smoothies, making sure they're warm. This can actually, warm cold smoothies, they're finding can actually cause menstrual cramps. So it's really important to think about those kinds of things. People are always like, wait, I can't eat salads. Salads are so healthy. It's like, yes, they are healthy, but at the end of the day, when you're dealing with hormone issues, usually your digestive system is also being affected because the liver, when it is being overworked or has having any issues, it will attack the stomach because they're directly connected. So usually when you're dealing with hormone issues, you're dealing with stomach and gut issues. So avoiding any sort of disturbances or anything that will take too much energy for the digestive system is really important.
I love that you bring that up. We are on the same page. I'm always telling people, how can you have a cold smoothie in the morning for breakfast in the winter? It's just like, it just makes me cold to even think about it. So I tell people an alternative is you can do, a hot latte, in the morning, with like your dandelion and your good, collagen and all of that kind of stuff. Add in all your good stuff, but make it nice and warm, much easier on the digestive system.
Absolutely.
Love it. Oh, well, these are some amazing tips. So can you tell us like where people can find you, and what they can do to, to go to your page and to talk with you?
Yeah, well, my Instagram is just at the Fertile Glow. I also have a TikTok that I share a lot about herbs, so that's also at the Fertile Glow if you're on TikTok. My website is the Fertile Glow. Everything is the Fertile Glow. My Etsy shop is the Fertile Glow. My Etsy shop will have all of my formula tinctures, single herb tinctures. I also do custom tinctures if you want something tailored to you. And I also take clients, so I do one-on-one work. We use mainly Chinese medicine to look at your imbalances, and you get a custom tincture included. And you can book that on my website or just go to my Instagram page and go to the link in my bio, and it'll take you to it. So, yeah.
Perfect. And like Emily mentioned before, she tailors it all exactly to your specific needs. So, this is an amazing thing to have somebody, look at your whole body. She looks at your whole body. She looks at your tongue, your face,
Yep.
the shape and everything. And then she can, just by looking at all of these different things, you can tell so much about a person and maybe what is out of balance, right?
Absolutely.
I
The
love it.
eyes, even your hair color, the color of your eyes can tell a lot. Even
Wow.
tone of your voice, the sound of your voice, and how much you talk or how little you talk, is actually a diagnostic tool in Chinese medicine.
That's amazing. We're gonna have you back on to talk all about this. I want to talk more about the face mapping. I would love to do to talk more about what your tongue tells you and all of that. That sounds fascinating.
Very cool.
Well, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Emily. It was a pleasure having you on. I'd love to chat more about this and go and follow Emily for more information. Thank you so much.